Bayanihan 2 bill has a provision on managing outstanding loans. Let's have an exchange now with Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines President Elizabeth Carlos Timbol, joining us from Angeles City in Pampanga. Liza, thank you so much for joining us on the exchange.
Thank you for inviting us, Rico, on the exchange. It's our honor.
So, Liza, tell us, the association basically proposed a moratorium on debt loans of between 30 to 45 days. But of course, the lawmakers approved a 60-day reprieve on the payment of loans. Can the rural banks handle the additional 15 to 30 days?
Yes, Rico, based on our stress tests in rural banking, 30 to 45 days is the one that we can handle, no? But with additional 15 days of a total 60 days, yes, because of the RBs are well capitalized, we can manage as a striking balance and as a way of cooperating and support the Bayanihan 2 or what they call Bayanihan Act as Recover 1, and at the same time so that we can support of our borrowers of almost 4 million loan borrowers, which are mostly the MSMEs, the fisher folks, OFWs, and the farmers.
But Liza, can the additional 15 to 30 days impact basically the rural banks' expansion for their loans to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and farmers?
Yeah, because it's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing that the BSP is giving us economic stimulus programs that are helpful to the RBs.
And currently, tell us, Liza, during this pandemic, although there is a moratorium, are there still micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises that are borrowing from the rural banks?
Yes, Rico, the more that they need us more right now because they have to bounce back. As you continue, despite the pandemic, we continue to lend out. And as you could see, our lending has even increased from 135.67 billion to 135.84 billion, which is an increase of 0.16%. So we never really stop lending.
But what about the non-performing loans, the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises that cannot pay the rural's bank back?
We are trying to, we're trying to be a conduit of the different government package stimulus so that they can recover. And we are trying to closely working with them. We are trying to stretch out their maturities. And just like us, this grace period, because this is not the first time that the government is giving stimulus. Even in the first Q2, when there was a lockdown, we also gave them a grace period of 60 days.
So despite the problems right now of this public health crisis and the lockdowns, why do you think rural banks continue to survive and your borrowers can still pay you back? Because,
Rico, our borrowers, and just like the rural banks, are very resilient. And, you know, we can easily adapt to change in government. And we have weathered many crises. This is not the only crisis that we've experienced. Even in the past several crises, we have all weathered this one. The Asian crisis, the Mount Pinatubo. So as you could see, it's really the smaller businesses and the smaller banks can easily well manage in this time.
And of course, Liza, over the past decade, we saw more than 1,000 rural banks, but that has now been pared down to just more than 400. And this means that the rural banks have remained healthy and the bad ones have been weeded out.
Yes, because the 427 rural banks have evolved over the years. Just imagine the existence of rural banks since 1952. Like, for example, for us, GR Bank, we've been existing for the past 6 or 7 years, no? So for those remaining 427 rural banks have already evolved and has already well managed, stronger, and more capitalized, have better risk management frameworks. And our existence can be seen in the remotest areas with more than 3,272 branches. And in fact, we have already a workforce of 22,799. And aside from that, our industry liquidity is 52.9%. And reason why we never really availed of our rediscounting lines. So we still have buffer for that. That's how you can see right now how rural banks operate. And besides, over the years, perhaps because we are conservative, we rural banks are mostly family-owned businesses and a mid-size. And we are more conservative in running our banks. We sacrifice profitability over stability.
This is good news indeed. The rural banks have weathered this economic crisis. Thank you so much for joining us on the exchange. Elizabeth Carlos Timbol, President of the Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines.
Thank you.